Welcome to Ancient Wisdom of the Feminine. I am Srishti Yadav, and I'm here today with Magdala Ramirez in continuation with our Golden Era series. A little bit about Magdala Ramirez. She's a spiritual leader and healer from the Maya Mexica lineage. She was born as a medicine woman from a long lineage of medicine people in Mexico, where she began walking her path at an early age, working with medicine people and pyramids of Mexico. She brings the ancient knowledge to the world through original seminars, books, ceremonies, and journeys. Her purpose in life is to bring back ancient wisdom of union of polarities, and through this wisdom she helps to bring back the perfect balance of male and female. She has an online school of enlightenment that can be found at her website, and we are so honored to have.
I am so happy to be with you today. My name is Magdala Ramirez, and I come from the Maya Mexica tradition. It is beautiful in this time and space to remind you what it means, Mexico. Mexico means union of polarities, the place of the feminine and masculine working together. And we say Mexico, Mexico as a mantra. And when the Spanish hear us singing Mexico, they call us the Mexicans. But Mexico is not a tribe, it's an understanding. And today, we're going to be talking about precisely that part of ourselves. As you know, and we have been saying this for a very, very long time, you have both energies happening inside of you, your male and your female. And just a little reminder, that feminine, it is the great mother. And that has to do of the essence, that world inside of you, that it is connected with all the life forms. And from that place also, you tap into this very beautiful knowledge. It is very important to understand this because we can see the extremes of the two polarities. The masculine represents that manifestation. So it's a mirror. It's a mirror inside of yourself, your perception of reality and your manifestations, your relations, your outside world. It is very much a mirror of that inside world. And in this time and space, I have been in a very powerful, beautiful journey. The mother was saying in the last ceremony that I will be working with men, and this has been happening in a very, very strong manner. For a while, women has been talking about there is so many things that the men does not know about the feminine, doesn't understand the feminine. And what happened in these situations and why the men were not able to see that feminine. And we're talking about those ways of the manifestation, okay? So there is too a lot of the things that women don't know about the men. There is a huge section that women do not comprehend about the masculine ways and what happened to them. So in my journeys, I was observing and listening without projection or any judgment, just listening what is going on with that masculine, how they talk to each other, what is that brotherhood that it is taking place right there. And in this case, I really observed these situations. They were thinking about a world that everything is about a fight. Everything has to do with battles and destruction Everything has to do with challenge and competition. Thinking about that world, thinking that as soon as they go into the system, they're going to be under attack by forces through other men, that they are there just to challenge them and provoke them, and they could not see a world of beauty, a world of oneness, a world of love for a very, very long time. And asking them to why, what happened to you, what is it? And they were telling me about the way that they grow up. And I know that this has to do with culture too. And it might be very, very different what happened in Mexico or what happened in many other places everywhere in the world. But this is what I find out in United States, what was happening with these men. They say that when they feel love or nurturing, it makes them weak. So they don't want to go there. They felt that it is confusing, and confusion makes them weak. That's what they were telling me. They say that growing up in a system like this one, everything was about a challenge since they were boys. In the schools, they were be challenged by other boys, looking and proving at all times who's the alpha male. And it has to do with that understanding of that challenge. They thought about women like very much like assets, something that they need to protect and that they need to protect from other men, and thinking that protection, it will help them to see that manhood, and that those women in their lives, it were there to just mirroring that manhood that they have. This journey took me into this understanding of that original, beautiful, true man. And I found this, where this was coming from, and what happened to them. It happens that there was this beautiful man 100 years ago who create a way, and the way was the Aikido. In these ways that he created, everything was about harmony. Everything was about using your ki, using your chi. We call it pantli in Mexico. That energy, that it comes out from you, and you understand that at the place where heaven and earth meet, male and female meet. And they call it the path of the human being. That original creator has been taught and teaching me so many beautiful understandings about what happened with the masculine and how those ways got so completely distorted too. The fear for love. The fear for love was installed to them at a very early age. And they felt it like a mystery that they don't want to go there. It is the world of emotions. It is the world of enlightenment. It is also a world of changes. It was sad in my heart when I heard all these stories about beating somebody else, and understanding that challenge over and over and over again, and thinking that it is about the male way. And in that distortion, it really awakes that compassion within my own self, that incredible love and understanding for that masculine, and telling too to my sisters this story, to be able to awake that compassion in the parts that women didn't know about that masculine. But I also realized that that energy was inside of the women too. That is part of that masculine way. that it has been so completely distorted in many, many ways. And yet, the only way to overcome that distortion it is through love. The same thing that they are so afraid. So what happened in that reflection more? I want to say more about how this reflection in the feminine works. Women, when she got hurt or a broken heart, it becomes very afraid of love, thinking that everyone is going to be in the same story over and over and over again. Thinking that in that way they need to think that all the men are the same. Can you believe it? And that it's a big lie, because impeding the flow of love, it is impeding your own life force. So love, it is truly that bonding and understanding about this. It is true that by talking to my brothers about this, and for them to explain to me that that was normal for them growing up. And that normal, when it begins like a norm, it really creates all these distortions of that beautiful vibration, of that unique vibration. So, in the journey for the masculine to begin to comprehend love and begin to understand love, and really observing that divine feminine outside of themselves, so it will click something in the inside of themselves. It is imperative at this time, because the masculine works from that outside world to the inside world. Just like that meditation, that you silence your thoughts in order to touch this part within your own self. This part that enlightens you, these parts that through that enlightenment you understand love in the most purity of the expression.
To continue listening to this episode, please visit ancientwisdomofthefeminine.podbean.com and subscribe to our premium content. Thank you.